Welcome to today's video, 2 Peter 1 verse 3 explained. According as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. This verse from the Apostle Peter is a powerful reminder of the sufficiency of God's provision for the believer. It begins by declaring that it is by God's divine power that we have been given everything we need. This is not a partial provision or a help along the way, but a full and complete equipping for both life and godliness. Life here refers to our natural and spiritual existence, and godliness points to living in a way that reflects the holiness and righteousness of God. Peter emphasizes that this abundance is not earned by human effort but granted by God's power. It is a divine gift, not a reward for merit. Everything we need to live in accordance with God's will, to overcome challenges, and to grow in spiritual maturity has already been made available to us. The verse continues by showing us how this provision is accessed. It is through the knowledge of Him, meaning Jesus Christ. The more we grow in our relationship with Christ, the more we understand and experience the resources that God has placed at our disposal. Knowledge in this context is not just intellectual understanding but a deep, personal relationship. It is through knowing Christ intimately that we come to realize the depth of God's provision. The final part of the verse speaks of being called to glory and virtue. God has not only provided what we need to live for Him, but He has also called us to a higher standard. Glory refers to the divine nature and presence of God, and virtue speaks of moral excellence. We are called to live lives that reflect the beauty and excellence of God Himself. This is not just about avoiding sin but about actively pursuing a life of goodness, purpose, and righteousness. This verse assures believers that they are not lacking. No matter what stage of life one is in or what circumstances one faces, God has already provided all that is necessary. It is a matter of trusting in His power and growing in the knowledge of Christ. There is no situation too difficult and no temptation too strong when we rely on what God has already given. Moreover, this verse counters the idea that we must strive in our own strength to be good enough. Instead, it redirects our focus to what God has already done for us and how He continues to work in us. Through Christ, we have been given access to divine resources that transform our lives from the inside out. In a world full of confusion and self-reliance, this verse calls us back to the truth that everything we need comes from God. He has supplied, He has called, and He empowers us to live lives marked by glory and virtue.